What's up, guys? Trying this again. Finally got a good chance to start this project. I'm gonna be kind of vlogging and talking mainly about fitness, my fitness journey. Of course, I took this idea from Sam Sulek. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was fun that, he's able to kind of have essentially an autobiography for himself for his fitness journey, and then talk about what he thinks is right, talk about what he thinks is wrong, talk about pitfalls that he's learned, talk about things that he wants to improve on. And I was like, wow, that's a good outlet. It's sort of like a vocal diary, or I guess a visual diary, or a visual journal, where you can kind of slowly progress in your fitness. You can look back on it, you can kind of speak your mind, and then turn thoughts and feelings into words, and maybe they'll be more coherent that way. So that's what this series is going to be about. Mainly going to be talking about my fitness, where I am, where I want to be, and then if we got some time, we can talk about like things I've learned, things I want to improve on, blah, 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 talk about life and some philosophical bullshit like that. But let's just keep it simple. Let's just talk about fitness. So, starting this journey, was relatively fit throughout most of my growing years. Middle school, like grade school, middle school, high school, even into college, I was fairly fit. I played sports, I played club sports, and I never really unlocked the whole athleticism until just very recently, because I realized I'm missing a lot of things back then, right? Back then it was just me running the 100 because that was my event, right? It was me playing volleyball because that was my sport, right? It was me playing soccer because that was my sport, right? Or basketball. But now I'm able to kind of be like, okay, the sports part is how you showcase athleticism, but it's in the gym and it's in your training that's how you build your athleticism. But unfortunately, that train never kept going. After graduation, I stopped working out. I stopped doing a bunch of shit. Got fairly unfit. Pretty much lost all my gains. But it is what it is, right? Sometimes we fall, and sometimes we trip, and sometimes we fall really, really far. But I'm back at it now. So, start of my journey was end of 2022. Man, this light is not going. Is it broken? But start of the journey is 2022, near the end, November, December-ish. I was about 200 pounds then, and I was like, it's too much, man. I gotta get back in there, right? I gotta get back in there. So it took the next 6-7 months to kind of cut weight. Of course, I did it once before in university, after your freshman 15, right? For me, it wasn't 15. For me, it was like 30, 40. So I already kind of knew how to cut and how to eat right and how to count macros. So it was an easy adjustment for me. It was just more of a mental thing, right? Where I was like, okay, cool. Let's make sure I have it. Let's make sure I get it. But yeah, it took me 6-7 months. I got down from about 200 to 153. That was my lowest. And then I had a couple of lulls for a couple months because I was doing stuff during the summer. I was figuring out my life. I was trying new things. I was meeting new people, things like that. I ballooned up a little bit of weight, like 4 pounds, like 157. Cool, no problem. That was a healthy weight for me to maintain. I felt good on it. And then I started my bulk at 157. I went up to the end of the year, or I was supposed to go up to the end of the year, but it got kind of cumbersome, just eating over and over and over and over again. So I kind of had to cut that one short by 2.5-3 weeks. So instead of ending it at, New Year's, I ended up, like in like December 12th or something. So. But I went from 157 to about 180-ish, so it was a good bulk. I did make a lot of mistakes. I tried to capitalize on, like, hey, I didn't want to lose any of the gains I was making because I was so far from where I wanted to be. I was like, maybe I still have the newbie gains again, right? Because I'm so far. So I really want to optimize. I want to make sure I didn't lose anything on the table. So, initially I ate at 300 calories over, then 400, then 500, then 600, and then blah, blah, blah. And then, by then, I was about 180 already. I was like, oh, fuck. Ah, shit, So that was not an ideal bulk. I gained a little bit too much weight. And reason why I say that is I feel like not all of it was muscle, right? I feel like a lot of it, or at least half of it, was, body fat, which is not good. So, albeit during that time, my lifts have gone up in reps and weights. So, hey, something worked, but I kind of tried to speed up the process when I really didn't need to, and I should have just been patient. I should have just been grinding it, right, repetitively, right, kind of like a habit instead of trying to, over-optimize, over-emphasize, not losing gains, right, because it'll come, right, you just got to put the work in, you got to put the time in. So now I'm facing a little bit of the consequences of that. I am trying to cut back down to an acceptable weight, because as much as I'm by feel type of guy, the science doesn't lie, right? When you have less adipose tissues, when you have less adipocytes, your propensity to gain muscle fibers, muscle mass, strength is on average higher than if you're at a higher level, right? So if you were trying to put on muscle, trying to put on strength at 15% body fat, which is already really low, versus someone at 25, the guy at 15 will progress better than the guy at 25. So definitely try to cut down at a reasonable and safe and healthy and maintainable pace. Trying to get down to about 150-ish again, somewhere in there, and hopefully since I'm at the same weight as my first initial cut, but now I'm stronger, I've gained some muscle, hopefully I'm a little bit bigger after this cut than when I was before, right? You know what I'm trying to say? But really only time will tell. I'm not gonna try to rush it, right? If the result isn't as good as I want it to be, or I didn't really get much out of it, then all right, whatever. Can't change that. Let's make sure the next bulk goes better, right? So right now, I went from 180-ish to about 173. A couple days I weighed in at like 171.7, but on average it's about like 170, like 2 point something to like 173 point something. So I'm just gonna be conservative. I'm just gonna go with the higher number, 173. I am about 4 weeks into this cut already. So I'm gonna do 4 to 6 more. So in length, this first initial cut is gonna be 8 weeks or 10 weeks, something like that. I'm gonna see kind of when I need to go back to maintenance, take a little break, resensitize the metabolism, resensitize the hormones, the insulin levels, things like that. And then I'll go back into the second part of the cut, right, and finish strong, right? So that's where I'm at right now. Of course, by me saying that, it sounds like I've lost more than 1 pound per week, which technically it's true, but it's kind of hard to tell because when I started the bulk, I was full of carbs, so full of water. now I'm not eating so many carbs because, you know, I just gotta find places to cut out calories, and carb is the easiest. So can't tell if it's just I don't really have that much water in me, but you know, whatever. So hopefully in about 4 to 6 weeks, I will be comfortably in the 160s. So 169 if it's 4 weeks, 167 if it's 6 more weeks. But that would be really, really nice. That would be like, I'm into the 160s. That should give me a bit more motivation. That should give me a bit more, oomph to keep going. So that would be nice. But that's generally the idea of what's going to be happening for the next couple of months. Just going to work on the cut. Lift-wise, probably not going to do too much. Just trying to be in a caloric deficit. So not too much is going to be happening, but I think it'll be fun to see, hey, I was 180 then, cool, where do I end up? How much better do I look? What my lifts end up being after the cut, has my ratio gone up? Has my ratio gone down, etc., etc. But definitely for the next bulk, I'm going to be strategizing it a lot more. I'm going to be slower with it. So instead of a 4 or 5 months bulk, if I can slow down the caloric gain, minimize the fat gain, I can kind of push the bulk to maybe 7, 8 months. So, at least for, 3/4 of the year, I might be able to be in a strength gaining, mass gaining phase versus if it's just half a year of cut, right? So that's kind of my general idea right now, but we'll see if anything changes. But I think that's a good starting place for my next bulk that I'm already kind of prepared for because I'm super excited about it. But so my workout programming, and I'm almost there, so it's probably not going to be super in depth, but my workout programming is mainly a 5-day program. I've done 6 days before when I was first starting, and that was really nice. But as my lifts have gone up, I realized I need more time to recover. 1 day is not enough. Push, pull legs, rest. It's not enough. So now I do 5 days. I do upper, lower, rest, push, pull legs, rest. So between every block, where I'm able to hit above the waist and below the waist at least once, there's a rest day, which is really nice. Because on the rest days, I can also go into the forbidden gym and do cardio, right? And get into even further of a deficit that way, right? Just walk on a treadmill for 50 minutes at an incline, boom, that's 500 something calories, right? Bam, easy. Then kind of depending on my energy level and things like that, hey, if for the next block, right, like after this 4 to 6 weeks, hey, maybe I'll go down to a 4-day program, right? Upper, lower. And then during my off days, I'll just hit cardio, right? Like those will be my cardio dedicated days, right? Let's get my VO2 up, my VO2 max up and things like that. But currently, this is the start of the new week, so I'm doing upper today. I actually don't know what I'm doing, so I like to just put my programming into my phone and just never think about it, right? Then just never have it on my mind. That way I don't try to over optimize it like what I did with my bulk, and that way I don't over analyze it and try to switch stuff around and there's not enough reps for this muscle, blah blah blah, and I try to mess stuff around, and then it becomes an ineffective programming. So I'm gonna stick true to what this programming is. I'm gonna finish it, and if there's stuff that's lacking, okay, so I'm gonna pick a different program or choose a different program and modify it slightly so it covers up the things I don't like, or it helps me focus on my weakness or whatever part that I want to focus on. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but I will let you guys know after the workout what I did. Hopefully I still remember, but it's been super snowy, it's been super cold. This is the first time I'm able to get in about 4 days, because just snow and the ice, and my car sucks ass on slippery surfaces. It's a rear wheel drive car, no grip, and it just puts out way too much torque in the back. And you know, if I just press a little bit too far, the back wheel will slide. I mean, even when I'm parking right now, right, I can feel my back sliding slightly. But, all right, guys, I'm gonna get in there. If I could film some stuff, I'll film some stuff, but I'll see you guys after. Workout complete. So I can finally tell you guys. Oh, goddamn, a lot of motherfuckers here. So I can finally tell you guys what I did for upper. So incline dumbbell into neutral grip lat pull down, and I mess with the grip, right? Wide, medium, narrow, just kind of depends on how I feel. Into seated cable row, into dumbbell overhead press. I do it kind of Arnold style standing up, but I really focus on the lockout at the top, right? Internally rotating my shoulders, keeping the scapula tight, right? As if I'm doing like a, you know, like a squat jerk, right? Really focusing on the extension. And then I did, well, I feel like I'm missing something. No, wait, and I did a superset, skull crushers, and easy bar curl. Only problem is I never liked skull crushers. I know it's a good tricep builder and strength movement, but it's never felt comfortable on my elbows. I always feel a pop. I always feel like a little twinge, a snap, whatever that feeling is, and I don't like it. So I did one set and I was like, no way. You know, this is so uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. So I think going forward for my upper days for that superset, I'm gonna do like cable, like the rope, behind the back overhead extension to hit that long head of the tricep, and superset that with just an easy curl barbell setup, right? So overall, pretty easy, pretty fast. My goal right now is not to, you know, really grow or really get stronger, right? If it happens, awesome. But my main goal right now is to cut, right? And part of cutting is to just stimulate my muscle in a high intensity fashion, which is why a lot of my working sets is followed by a drop set where I just, you know, it's like an AMRAP drop set. I care about the intensity. I want to get the muscle fatigued and stimulated, the micro tears, the micro damage, whatever. I just want it to trigger enough growth where I retain, but I don't have to gain, right? Because the main focus is body fat reduction, weight loss. So I'm okay with, oh God, I spin out even on dry ground right now. So because of that, I'm okay with more of a minimalistic, kind of in a more efficient, a faster workout than, you know, if I were to do, you know, like a real, you know, like a power building 5 day per week, or a high frequency, or like a, you know, like an Arnold split or whatever. So I'm fairly okay with this. It's quick. It lets me get in, it lets me get out. You know, I don't really have that much energy because I'm not eating a whole lot. I'm eating 1,600 calories right now. My maintenance with me, working out, doing stuff during the day, walking my dogs, doing cardio, and et cetera, you know, it kind of varies. But on average, it's about 21 something, right? Like a little bit over 2,100. So if I eat 16, hey, that's a perfect 500 calorie deficit. Perfect. But sometimes on days where I'm doing some Ollie stuff, or even if I'm doing the SBD stuff, especially deadlifts, my heart rate can go up higher, right past zone 2, zone 3. Maybe if I'm doing like a long, like a snatch complex, like a 4 movement snatch complex, then, you know, I could be sitting at zone 3, zone 4 for like, you know, like 10, 15 seconds. So on those days, my calories are usually a lot higher, about 2,400, so about 300 more. But of course, it's great that I'm more in the hole. I'm able to lose the weight faster. I'm able to get to my bulk faster. I'm able to keep on track, but it does kind of suck because I do feel completely spent after those days. So I'm just gonna sporadically spread them throughout this cut. But yeah, it's a pretty good day today. Not a lot of people in there. There was like 2-3 people in there with me the whole time. Real easy. I was able to do everything. So it was a good workout day. Gonna go home. Of course, it's super cold, but I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna walk with my dogs. I'm gonna try to keep the same amount of energy. I'm gonna try to use the same amount of energy throughout the day. Just so, you know, just because it's cold doesn't mean I should move any less. So, you know, keep me at that 2,100 average. It's also good because it's a little bit colder, so I'm gonna have to bundle up. I might sweat a little bit. Heart rate might go a little bit higher than normal, right? Trying to retain that body heat. So, hey, maybe that 2,100 becomes 2,150, right? Of course, that adds up over time. So that's what I love. So let's set some baselines. All right, let's talk about where my lifts are at right now. And then I'll periodically update you guys, and you guys can be like, okay, shit, okay, yeah, no, he's gone up, 10 pounds, he's gone up like 20 kilos or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But my, you know what, let's do the SBD stuff first. Squat, every time I try to go heavy, or actually no, every time I'm doing my top set, I always feel a twinge in my knee, my calf, in my hips, and then that forces me to say, okay, let's not go any higher. So maybe it's because I don't have enough carbs, I don't have enough energy to really, be super duper mentally 100% focused in, right? Like I'm more like 90% focused in right now, but maybe it's that. Maybe it's just, hey man, I've been getting battle ups the last couple weeks. I haven't been able to do it. Also I'm on a cut, so I'm not really expecting myself to go up, that weight. But right now, squat's kind of weak, but 225 for 6. Bench, I'm at, 25 kilo, 30 kilo, 6. I'm at 80 kilos for 2. Which is 175, so above body weight bench. Awesome, that's one goal accomplished. And deadlift, I pulled 160 kilos, which is like 350 something, like 352 for 1. That is, that's also double body weight, right? Yeah, because half would be 170. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's also double body weight. So that's another goal. And I guess my squat isn't that bad, right? Because it's 225. That's about 1.4x. So bench 1x, squat 1.4, 1.5, deadlift 2x. So I guess I'm still, like the ratio makes sense, right? But I think my squat can go up much higher because clean pulls, I can pull more than a deadlift because my quads are overdeveloped versus my posterior chain. So I want everything to be a little bit more balanced, so that's why I'm working on deadlifts. Even though the fatigue to stimulus ratio isn't great, I'm also not doing it every day or every week. I'm kind of using it as a baseline to judge, have I gotten stronger overall? So those are my SBDs: 225 for 6, 174 for 2, and 352 for 1 SBD. My ollie stuff, fuck. My shoulder is not good. My extension is not good. So my ollie stuff, clean and jerk and snatch are both zeros right now. Because I just cannot extend correctly right now. I'm extending too early. I'm not doing a full extension. I'm cutting my extension off short, blah, blah, blah. My shoulders, it's tight sometimes, so it's uncomfortable for me to catch. But it's just a lot of different facets, because the ollie stuff is a lot more technique first, and then you build strength on top of that, versus, the powerlifting, which is technique and strength at the same time. I'm just doing the bare minimum right now for ollie for me to just get reps in and get comfortable. But in training, I've done like 50 kg clean jerk. What is that, like 110 or something like that? It's mainly just the extension, and I pop it too far out. I'm not fully extended. I'm not driving through the hips and the legs to really go up high and then catching. I'm cutting it short, which is why the bar pops out and it's hard for me to catch. And if it's hard for me to catch in the clean, it'll be hard for me to catch in the snatch, etc., etc. That will definitely be improved upon. I'm working on it, but of course there's a lot of requirements to get back into it. But like 6 years ago, like when I was still in school, I was clean and jerking 100 kilos and was snatching about 60 kilos plus some change, somewhere around there. So not body weight snatch, but a nice weight for a clean and jerk, because the clean is a power movement and my power was good back then, but my technique was not. So I guess now I don't have power or the technique, so it's really hurting me. But I'm happy that I was able to establish the baseline for you guys and for myself. So hopefully, a couple weeks, maybe the reps will go up, right? Maybe not necessarily weight. And then maybe, once the bulk starts, I can really focus on the strength, aspect of it. So, but pretty good workout. Almost home. Still cold as fuck. It's like, I guess it's gonna get close to 10 degrees because the sun's out, but the sun goes down at like 4:30 p.m. so it's gonna get cold real quick. So I gotta first get some protein in me, get a little food in me, and then we'll take the dogs out, and then hopefully I walk the same. I use about the same calories to keep me at that 2100. But yeah, in future episodes, I guess, future chapters, not sure what the correct term is, but I'm gonna try and actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do this for a little while, and when I run out of stuff to say, then maybe I'll do a little bit of like a speak from the mind, things I've learned, and then we'll go from there. But hopefully this goes out soon, today, tomorrow. I'm not great at editing. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just stitching different parts together into one video and just popping that out, and just it's like, okay, whatever, no intro, no nothing. So I'll learn that eventually, but we gotta start our baby steps. So, but I'll see you guys tomorrow for lower. yeah, lower. And then I'm getting my haircut the day after that, so maybe you guys will see me with a cool haircut. Peace.